The JBS Leadership Institute is hosting a candid conversation with our West Texas leaders in law enforcement. Dr. Robert Brescia joining us this morning to tell us how this works. Good morning.
Sure. Well, it's one of our lectures, and it'll take place at the Center for Energy and Economic Diversification. That's right there in the same complex as the Wagner Noel Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
It's tomorrow night. It's at 6:30 p.m. And what's going to take place is we're going to have a panel of 4 policemen, basically 4 law enforcers. So we'll have Police Chief Tim Burton from Odessa, Police Chief Bryce Robinson from Midland. We'll have the 2 sheriffs, Sheriff Gary Painter from Midland and Sheriff Mark Donaldson from Odessa. And we'll be discussing 2 things. One is the famous stop procedure. So we're going to discover what they feel about whether or not the stop procedures in our area are sufficient. What are they? So that if you get stopped for anything, like even a minor traffic violation or infraction, something like that, you know, what should you do as a citizen? What should they be doing? We want to take a look at this, and I've been thinking about this all year, but you know, the election we had the focus all over the election. Now that's done, so we're going to take time to see what these law enforcers have to say about these issues. And the second thing is they're going to be talking about their initiatives to get closer to community.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, and when you're talking about they're stopping, this is anything from a broken taillight to speeding or whatever, and how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, I think that's usually the case. It's something very minor, and you know, when that happens, it used to be that we knew exactly what to do. We just obey all the instructions and, that the officer has to give us, and then if there's any argument, well, all that stuff comes later on. If you think you're being wronged or something like that. So we'll discuss the proper way to do a stop, and I don't think that's any different here in the Permian Basin than it would be in the state of Texas or even the nation. I think that it's fairly straightforward procedure.
Excellent. Well, and one thing I really like about this particular one is we know all these men.
Sure.
You know, they're in our community. They know West Texas. They know West Texans, and I know that it hits a little closer to home for all of us here.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We would like to see a lot of youth come out, and because that's who it's going to benefit the most, come out and see these folks and talk to them and interact. We encourage audience participation. Folks can write a question down and send it to one of the panelists. I think it's going to be a great session, and we anticipate, it's free.
Of course.
It's absolutely free, and there'll be some refreshments too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so again, tomorrow night over at the Seed Building right next to the Wagner Noel at 6:30.
6:30 p.m.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, if you'd like to be here on Good Day, go ahead and contact us.